Alright, I know the last video was a lot, but hopefully you got a lot of practice. And the last thing we have to do to talk about all the different parts of a parabola is we're going to talk about where is it increasing, decreasing, what's the domain and the range, and then what are the x-intercepts, right now only in intercept form. You probably found them in standard form back in the day in Algebra 1, but only in intercept form. And sorry, we're not doing this, although it is part of that. And I actually just picked number 7, because hopefully you did it already, on page 59. G of x equals 1/4 the quantity x minus 6 times the quantity x minus 2. So I found the vertex, I hope you did too, for -1. And I made a t-chart, and maybe you can talk about it with your partner in class tomorrow, but why I picked these numbers as opposed to other numbers, and how I picked them would be great. But here's our graph. So you have a graph, maybe you have different points, hopefully they're correct, hopefully I'm correct. And let's talk about increasing, decreasing. So we're looking from left to right. If you were to draw it from left to right, what's the first thing you would do? Well, starting on the left, you would start drawing down. So it is decreasing left of, now we're talking from left to right, so we're going to use the x, left of 4. I know the arrow's pointing up, you don't look at that. Going from left to right, what is the parabola doing? Going from left to right, where would you draw? You would draw down to here. So left of 4, left of the axis of symmetry, another reason why you want to find the axis of symmetry first, well after the vertex. You're decreasing left of there, and then what are you going to do from left to right? You're going to go up on the right side. So it's actually increasing right of 4. The parabola is going up as you look from left to right. That's increasing and decreasing. You need to know the difference between drawing down, drawing up, going from left to right, and then the axis of symmetry is the number that you're doing left of or right of. That's how we're going to explain it. All right? Okay, let's add in domain and range. Think back in the Wayback Machine. You probably heard domains about like x's or something. And it is. So nice thing about these type of parabolas, your domain, you can plug in any number you want for x. So you're going to say that your domain is all real numbers. I'll teach you that symbol there, but that means all real numbers if you haven't seen it in class. There's other ways you can write it. I'll actually show them to you. But I want you to understand the concept that there's no number you can't plug in. You can plug in any number you want for x, all real numbers, but y's, your range. Your range is different. Your range are the y values where this parabola exists. So I see my parabola, but you know what? It doesn't go below this point. It doesn't exist down here at like -2. It doesn't exist down here at -100. So what's the lowest point at -1? So it only exists above y equals -1. So your range is curly brace y such that y is greater than or equal to -1. All right? So here's where we use our k. Here's where we use our h. Again, finding the vertex is the first thing you always want to do because you're going to use the h and the k over and over again to describe different characteristics of the quadratics. So your domain is all real numbers. Your range is not. It's curly brace y. Big line. Y is greater than or equal to -1, curly brace. And yes, those are my curly braces. And then finally, this is in intercept form, so we're going to find the x-intercepts in this section. And it's actually quite easy. All you got to do, you got to go back to the equation. Look inside there. Your x-intercepts, opposite of this, comma 0, because the y is 0 on the x-axis. Opposite of this, comma 0. And in a perfect world, I would have graphed it wonderfully, but there are points right here at 2, 0 and 6, 0. So opposite of that, comma 0, opposite of that, comma 0, those are your x-intercepts from intercept form. So we did increasing, decreasing, domain and range, x-intercepts in intercept form. Previous video we found the vertex, we found the axis of symmetry, we graphed it, We graphed it to figure out whether or not there was a maximum or a minimum point, and we used the k value for that as well, and we're describing a lot about parabolas. All right, so you need to go and finish taking notes, and then number 6, you now need to graph label the x-intercepts from what we did in the previous video, and then we're going to do more in class tomorrow.